Imagine you're the Archmage of Winterhold, the pinnacle of magical prowess in Skyrim. You cast a fireball spell. Yeah, whether your destruction skill is at level 1 or level 50, the spell looks exactly the same. Just a flick of the wrist and a puff of flames. The only difference? The damage numbers. Sure, you're more powerful, but where's the sense of progression, the visual evolution of your magical abilities? This isn't just a problem in Skyrim. From casting the same old fireball spell to managing a generic mana pool, magic systems in most games have changed little over the years. But what if I told you that there are games out there breaking the mold, redefining what magic can be, and that we should go even further? Let's clarify what I mean by magic in video games. Traditionally, these refer to supernatural abilities that characters use, typically governed by a resource like mana and performed through predefined spells. These elements form the backbone of most magic systems. While functional, they've become repetitive. Magic in video games has its roots in literature and early TTRPGs like Dungeons & Dragons. J.R.R. Tolkien, in his letter to Naomi Mitchison about magic in The Lord of the Rings, said that magic is not to be come by law or spells. It is an inherent power not possessed or attainable by man as such. For Tolkien, magic wasn't about flashy displays, but about powers inherent in the world and its characters. He goes even further. Because Aragorn's healing hands are reported by hobbits with no understanding of philosophy or science,
Kings will are to weed.
They perceive it as magic and thus describe it as such. This subtlety about inherent powers and the point of view is something we can learn from when we think about magic systems in games. Alright, back to Skyrim. While it's a beloved classic, its magic system is as traditional as it gets. I did already mention the non-existent evolution of the fireball spell, and that's the case for every other spell in Skyrim too. It's almost like Bethesda thought, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Even if it means that the sense of progression feels a bit, well, flat. I mean, even if you were that one powerful Archmage in that ominous castle, surely you wouldn't settle on a single fireball spell and be done with it, right? Interestingly, Bethesda adjusted this idea in The Elder Scrolls Online. Here you can morph spells, granting them new abilities or even changing their resource cost from magicka to stamina. This morphing system adds a layer of customization and progression that Skyrim lacked, making spellcasting feel more dynamic and tailored to individual playstyles. But evolving spells isn't a new idea. Long before The Elder Scrolls Online, there was Dark Age of Camelot. This MMO introduced an interesting scaling system for magic. In Dark Age of Camelot, spells evolve as you level up. Take the standard magic ray for example. At level 1 it feels little impactful, but already at level 9 or 24 and 33, the visuals change. Even though the spell is the same, I can read from the visuals that the character becomes stronger. Also, the magic effects, names and icons were also tied to each of the 3 realms. This approach not only made spells feel more dynamic, but also reinforced the fantasy and lore of each realm. Next, let's look at games that have tried to innovate, like Magicka. In Magicka, players wield the powers of up to 8 different elements to create spells. The combination of some even leads to 3 more elements that offer a wide variety of magical effects. The beauty of this system lies in its flexibility. Players aren't limited to a preset list of spells but can experiment to discover new combinations. This leads to dynamic and often chaotic battles, where creativity is rewarded. Players have praised Magicka for its innovative approach, highlighting how it makes spellcasting feel fresh and engaging. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild redefines magical interactions through its physics engine. While not magic in a traditional sense, in this world it is. In Breath of the Wild, players manipulate the environment using a variety of tools and abilities. Magnesis, Cryonis, and Stasis are just a few examples. These abilities allow players to solve puzzles and combat challenges in multiple ways, encouraging out-of-the-box thinking. One can only appreciate the freedom and depth this system offers, making Magic feel like a natural extension of the game world. Of course, we could argue that this is not Magic, just special abilities granted by an ancient technology. But this technology was created by the Sheikah, the chosen guardians of the goddess Hylia, with the use of ancient energy. For me, this is sacred, or universally speaking, holy magic. So where do we draw the line? Gravity or Demi is a gravity-based spell mainly used by black mages throughout the Final Fantasy series. Still, it is physics-based. Alright, so magic is unique to each universe. But there's even more to that. Now let's dive into Divinity Original Sin 2, a game that masterfully integrates magic into its narrative and character development. In Divinity Original Sin 2, magic is not just a combat tool, but a key element of the story. Each character's magical abilities are tied to their background and the game's lore. From manipulating elements to casting unique character-specific spells, magic in this game feels deeply personal and impactful. Magic affects not just battles, but also interactions with NPCs, quests, and the world itself. Characters' magical abilities often come from narrative significance, influencing their decisions and the story's outcome. Moreover, the game's cooperative multiplayer allows players to combine their spells in creative ways, adding another layer of strategy and interaction. How Divinity Original Sin 2 makes magic an integral part of the character and story development is just inspiring, creating a more immersive and engaging experience. So far, we have learned that magic should be strongly tied to the game's world and lore, but also magic should reflect each character's experience and personality. Developers often stick to safe, familiar designs to avoid balancing issues and player confusion. Players expect certain things from magic systems, which can stifle innovation. But what if we could change that? Imagine a game where every spell is unique, generated procedurally based on player inputs. Sure, balancing in multiplayer games would be near impossible, but in the end, it's just numbers. But look at the new recently announced The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, where Zelda can copy props and paste them somewhere else. In a sense, that's procedurally generated magic based on player inputs. Or think about magic that interacts with the environment in complex ways, like causing weather changes or altering terrain. I mean, the meteor storm in Dragon's Dogma 2 looks really cool, but those trees there, they don't really look impressed, do they? Magic systems should be deeply tied to the story and character development, making every spell cast feel meaningful, and allowing players to create and customize their own spells, leading to endless possibilities. These approaches could make magic in games feel new and exciting again. I mean, Path of Exile 2 filled the community already with excitement. Like in the first game, you can change every skill to fit your playstyle in a unique way. Revitalizing magic systems can lead to more engaging and immersive games, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Developers have the opportunity to think outside the box and redefine spellcasting, creating experiences that captivate and inspire. But to get there, we, the players, also have to change our thinking about magic. Magic isn't just about meteor storms, depleting mana flasks, and doing more damage with each level. Magic in games shouldn't be black and white, and it definitely shouldn't be boring. But hey, innovation is a human superpower. In a sense, that is also magic in its own way, wouldn't you agree? What are your favorite magic systems in games, and how do you think they could be improved? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this tale, consider subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into the world of nerdism, like Dungeons & Dragons. If you want to know how it became so popular, you should definitely watch this video right here. Thank you so much for watching, and see you for the next Cerulean tale.